Hello everyone. Once again I welcome you all to this Kohan data migration workshop. In the previous video we discussed about how to create the USB drive, bootable drive with the help of ISO image which we have downloaded. And the second option we had that we wrote the ISO image in the DVD. So once it is ready, you need to install the Ubuntu in your computer, and for that I requested you all that you must have one free computer where you can directly install the Ubuntu. So now in this video I am going to show you that how you can install the Ubuntu in your computer with the help of USB first, and then I will be demonstrating how you can install through DVD. So let me show you how we can install the Ubuntu in computer with the help of the created USB which we have just created, the bootable USB. So now this is my computer and I am going to install Ubuntu in my computer, and I assume that my computer is completely free and there is no data in this, because while installing you have to make sure that there is no important data in your computer. If you are layman or the first time you are doing, so this is highly suggested not to take any risk and you try in free computer. For some user there may be a possibility that they are already having the Windows operating system in their computer, so they can also install in the same computer by making one drive free. For an example, if you are having in one computer 3 partition of your hard disk, in which in C drive you have installed Windows, and D and E, suppose 2 different drives are separate and free, so you can choose any one of them. So I'll be demonstrating in this installation both the condition and then we'll see. So first, the USB which I have just created as a bootable, I am going to insert in computer, and after inserting then I'll restart my computer. Okay, I'm just going to start my computer now, and then I have to look at the desktop and find the boot key and keep pressing the boot key, and I have to get the boot sequence, or you can say that I have to get the window through which I can direct the computer to start, this time not from hard disk. This time the computer has to start from the USB which I have just inserted, and that USB will work as a bootable device. So you have to locate in this which one is your USB drive. So you can see here that it is clearly written generic flash disk 8.07. This is the identification of my USB drive which I have inserted. But again I repeat that to get this window you have to find in your computer the boot key. You can see at the beginning when the system starts, it shows at the bottom, or else you can find out from the Google. For different computers, different brands, the boot key will be different. Some of the example, like in my case, my system or laptop is of Asus, so my boot key is escape button. In case of Dell computers, generally I have seen that F12. In case of HP, you may get different key. In case of Acer, you can get different boot key. So I am ready to go ahead now for installing Ubuntu in my computer with the help of USB device, and now I am going to hit enter. So as soon as I press enter, it will take you to the next window where you can choose the Linux distribution, and don't choose the first hard disk, because the first hard disk if you choose, then it will take you to the concerned installed operating system. So we need to instruct the computer to start from the USB and not from the hard disk, because we are going to install with the help of bootable USB device. Now just enter and wait for the next page. Here you can see that it is showing now the Ubuntu 18.04 because it is written in the USB. So select with the help of down arrow key. You can move up and down with the help of up and down arrow key, and then press enter. So as soon as you press enter, again it will start collecting the information, and then it will take you to the next page. Once it is done, select the first option and hit enter. So the moment you hit enter, again it will process, and it may take some time based on the computer speed, and it will collect all the necessary information from the system and then make your system ready for the installation of Ubuntu. Meantime it gets ready, I will mention some of the important points here, that I have prepared this video assuming that you are going to install Ubuntu in a fresh computer where you do not have any data or any important file in your computer. There may be some case that you may have Windows already in your system and you want to install Ubuntu side by. So in this video we will be talking about both, how we can do the dual booting installation, and we will see how we can install Ubuntu alone. So first, after getting this screen, you can see now that my computer is ready. It has booted from the USB which I inserted in the beginning, and now I'm getting the installation ready. So the icon I need to find out from the desktop, and then I have to double click on this with the help of mouse. So it will get ready and bring the installation screen. So you can see here that it has brought the first screen of the language. By default it is English. If your language is other than English, so you can choose from the respective list, and then click on continue button which is given at the right, and then it will automatically detect your keyboard which is attached to your computer, the layout. So by default it is English US. If it is not, you can choose as per your keyboard layout, and then click on continue. So again it will take you to the next window, and here you need to choose one option. Either you want minimal installation or you want the normal installation. If you go for the normal installation, it will include web browser, utility, office, game, media players, everything. But if you go for minimal installation, so it will install web browser and some of the basic utilities which we require. So you can choose as per your requirement. So I am going with normal installation, and then click on continue. So once you click on continue, it will take you to the next page, and now it is asking that the installer has detected that the following disk have mounted partition. See here, this is the /deb/sdb. So this is very important to understand, because any information or any pop-up or any message if you are getting, so read it very carefully, especially in case of Linux, because if you do not read and you are in hurry, then you may lose your data. And one very important thing in case of Linux installation is that you must have enough patience for completing the installation. So any information if you get in between while installing the Linux or Ubuntu or any flavor, you have to wait and watch and then go ahead. So information is given here. Do you want the installer to try to unmount the partition on this disk before continuing? I will say no, because I don't want to unmount any partition. And as soon as I press on no, it will take me to the next window. So it is processing and taking me to the next window. Once it is done, we'll follow the next option appears on the screen. Always remember that the instruction, if you choose not relevant to your need, it will take you to some means in other direction, and that may lead towards the losing data, or sometimes you may not get what you are looking exactly. So wait and watch and then proceed. Now it has taken me to the window where I am supposed to choose the respective option for installing Ubuntu. I'll be happy to give you information in detail what to do here. See, there are few options which you need to choose before we start installation, and this is very important while installing Linux. We are going to instruct the computer where to install Ubuntu. So in my case, in this computer, I am already having Windows 10, and side by side I am already having Windows 18.4. So let me tell you, you may have three conditions. If you do not have free system, you may have three conditions with you. The first condition is that you are having free computer where you don't have to think about losing any data or anything, because you are mentally prepared. Only you need to follow, and you have to check this option, erase disk and install Ubuntu. So what it will do, it will completely erase everything from your computer and then finally install Ubuntu in your computer. The second option which you may have, that you are already having Windows operating system and also you are having the Linux or any Ubuntu version. So in that case, what you are going to do, that you will retain your window and side by you will overwrite on Ubuntu, which is already there in your computer. And the third case may be that you are only having window and side by you are going to install Ubuntu. So the first condition, you are having free computer. In that case, you don't have to do anything. Select erase disk, it will completely erase and install Ubuntu in fresh system, and only Ubuntu will be there. The second condition I am taking, that I want to install, I am already having Windows 10 in my computer, and side by I want to install Ubuntu. So those friends who are willing to install Ubuntu side by window, so first I request them to make one drive free out of all the drives they have in Windows operating system. For example, in Windows operating system you are having three drives, C, D, E. So never touch C, because C has the operating system window. Either you can choose D drive or E drive. So whichever is less in size and more than 20 or 30 GB, you can choose that for practice purpose. So select that drive, or if it is more than 30, 40, 50 or even 100, that will work. But you have to note in which drive you want to install Ubuntu. So for example, you have 100 drive, so you just make that drive completely free, take all the data backup and then keep it safely. Even if you are having Windows operating system and you are going to do dual booting, I suggest that before you go for installing Ubuntu, you take all the important files in your external hard disk to avoid any loss of data, because when we install Ubuntu, and especially Ubuntu or any Linux flavor, and especially those who are trying first time, I will never suggest to do dual booting. I will always suggest for them that you have to choose this option, erase Ubuntu, means never go for the dual booting and go with the fresh computer install complete in the system, first learn fully and then try dual booting. So in my case I am taking the dual booting. If I don't have to take dual booting, then I would have chosen this option and simply I would have installed the complete Ubuntu. So I am going to demonstrate here the something else that will take me to the next window, where in my computer already Windows is there and I am going to install side by Ubuntu. So this is showing the structure of my hard disk. You can see here that it is showing Windows 10. This is the bootloader or MBR master boot record, which is having the capacity of 310 MB. This is my C drive. I am not going to touch this. This is my D or other drives. All these are my Windows drives which I am not going to touch. But there is a drive which already has Ubuntu. So I am going to overwrite on this drive. In case you do not have this earlier and only you have Windows, so this will not appear. So you have to choose out of all these the exact one where you have to install Ubuntu. So but remember, when you are installing, please do not choose by mistake also C, otherwise you will lose your Windows operating system also. So you have to be very careful when you are installing. So I am going to overwrite, means I am already having Ubuntu 18.04. First I will remove this and then I will overwrite on this space. So I am selecting this and I'll click on minus button, so it will first delete and make this drive free. So when it is free, it will show as a free space where you can choose and again you can install Ubuntu in the same drive. So it may take little time in processing, and here also it depends on the speed of your computer. So you can see here that this is my free space now, 50 GB, and I am going to install Ubuntu in this. But suppose you do not have this free space and you have to install, so you have to locate your drive and you have to install in that. How will you identify, here one question I am having for you all, how will you identify that this is my Windows drive or this is my Linux drive? So you can identify with the extension, the type. If you find NTFS in type, it means this is the drive of your Windows, that is NTFS network file system. If it is FAT32, it means that is representing the USB device. If it is VFAT, it means it is representing DVD or CD. And if it is ext4, then it is representing the Linux drive. You might have noticed earlier it was showing ext4 here. So once again, when you start installation, it will again show. Let me show you. So this is my free space where I am going to install now. Just click on plus symbol and now it is asking me to create partition. The size of my this partition is 51,982 MB. It means almost 51 GB or 50 GB. The type of new partition, I am going to retain it as a primary partition, and the location will be the beginning of this space. Use as a ext4. There are many formats. I will not be discussing all, but I will mention here that we need to choose ext4. And what will be mount point, means where it is going to install. So I will select the / which represents the root for Linux, and finally I will click on OK. So it will take little time in making the free space ready for installation of Ubuntu in root partition. And then, as I said earlier, that it will show the type and also it will show the mount point. So it will show ext4 here and it will show the mount point here, that where it is going to install. So just wait and it will make the drive ready. Now you can see the type has become ext4 and the mount point is /, and here when you are doing first time, it gets automatically checked. This option will appear as a automatic checked, but if it is not checked, you select this and make it ready, and finally get ready to click on install now. So once you press install now, finally it is confirming you are ready to write the changes to disk. Yes, I am ready. So click on continue, and finally it has taken me to the next window. Here you have to click on your respective country and it will detect the time zone, that is the Kolkata for India, and then click on continue. It will take you to the next window where it will ask to enter your personal information and also what will be choosing you as your user ID and password. So you have to give user ID and password accordingly, so that every time when you start the system or you have to make any changes, you need to log in and then proceed. So it is asking me the personal name, so I give here as a my name DP Tripathi. My computer name will be library. The username I am picking as a library. Password is KitKit, and then I am not going to ask or require my password to log in again and again. So I instruct the computer that whenever I choose Ubuntu, it should log in automatically and do not ask for password. Now click on continue. So it will start installing the Linux in your computer. So meantime it gets ready. I repeat again, for installing Ubuntu you must have USB or DVD in your you must have DVD or USB bootable device. Then you have to find and locate the boot key from your computer or laptop. If it is different brands have different boot key, for example Asus, it has Escape or F8. If it is Dell, this is generally what I have experienced. It may be different in your case also. Generally Dell has F12, likewise HP has different key, Acer has different key, Toshiba has different key. So you have to find out. If you do not have information, you can either ask your computer expert or you can find even in Google. Then you will get the boot key. Once you are ready, insert your bootable device in your computer and then start the computer. Keep pressing the boot key. It will show you the window where you need to direct the computer from where it should boot. So you have to, for example in this case we have chosen the USB device. If you are going to install from CD or DVD, then you have to choose CD or DVD. Then it will take you to the next window of Yumi, because USB device has been created by Yumi software. So there you need to change Linux distribution, where it will show you which OS you are going to install. Select the respective OS and then proceed and follow the instruction. You have to be very careful at the time of choosing your location of installation. So you may have three conditions. The first condition is that you do not have any operating system, or even if you have any operating system in your computer but you don't want to keep anything, you want to keep your Ubuntu as a whole in the system. So in that case you have to choose erase disk and install Ubuntu. So it will erase everything and install Ubuntu. This is the first case. The second case, you may have that you are already having Windows, but side by you want to install Ubuntu also. So in that case, from Windows operating system you need to make one drive free and identify the size, so that while choosing for installing Ubuntu it will not create problem. So when you have decided that I am going to install in that particular drive, choose something else, that is the last option, and instruct the computer to install that particular drive. The third condition, you may have that you already have Windows and you already have Ubuntu in your computer. So in this case you can overwrite in your Ubuntu. So in this case, last case, you have to first select the drive, remove the previous version of Ubuntu by clicking on minus button given on the screen, and then you have to again press plus symbol, instruct the computer, give the mount point and choose the type of partition, and then start the installation. So once the installation is over, it will ask you to restart the computer. So this is the complete process how to install Ubuntu. Hope it will finish soon, and then we will see the last step of the installation. So you can see here that it has finished the installation, and now it is asking to restart now. So just click now on restart now button, and do not remove the USB device from the computer. It will restart the computer, and then it will take you to the window where you will have two options. You can see here that it is giving both the options. So if you want to choose Ubuntu, then you can, by default, if you do not select, it will start Ubuntu, and if you want window, so it will, you have to choose window with the help of arrow key and then hit enter. So accordingly you can select the operating system and work on this. So hope I have been able to make you understand that how to install Ubuntu side by window, and also how to install Ubuntu in the fresh computer. If you have any query or question regarding installation of Ubuntu, then you may drop a mail, or you can even discuss over phone. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed the session. Thank you once again.